All right, guys. So welcome to our Nutrition 101 group. I am so excited that you are here. And I am, one second. Let's get this party started. All right, guys, welcome to basically, this is a nutrition overview, and I want to do a deep dive in with you guys to explain our two nutrition programs. So first of all, we have the Ultimate Portion Fix and the 2B Mindset. And both of these, you can access both of these in Beachbody On Demand. And you've heard the quote, like you can't outwork a bad diet. And I am here to tell you that it's so true, but I'm also here to tell you that it doesn't have to be difficult. So with that, for those of you who don't know me, hey, what's up? My name is Kelsey Nelson. I have two little girls. This is kind of an older picture, but Kinley is my oldest, she's 3. And then Zoe, she's my youngest, she is 18 months. And we are very, very busy these days. For those of you that have young kids, you kind of understand where I'm coming from. But prior to Beachbody, so I started Beachbody 8 years ago. So prior to Beachbody, I was a former yo-yo dieter. If there was a fad diet, I was doing it. I did Atkins, I did South Beach, I literally did Weight Watchers when I was a teenager. I remember vividly sitting in a meeting with my stepmom, and that was the thing back then. But I'm here to tell you, so I yo-yo dieted for 28 years, and then I joined Beachbody, and I was able to learn how to create a healthy lifestyle versus diet. Like I was able to have a diet, not be on a diet, if that makes sense. So I have lost 30 pounds 3 times by using both of these systems that I'm going to introduce you to tonight. The first time I lost the 30 pounds was when I first started my journey with Beachbody. And then I got into the best shape of my life, and I got super healthy, and I got pregnant with my first daughter, and I gained about 35 pounds. And then after her, I got into the best shape of my life. I lost about 35 pounds. And then I got pregnant with Zoe. And with Zoe, I think I gained like 40, and I'm still about 30 down. I still have about 10 to go. I don't know if it's just me, but like I feel like the older I get and the more babies I have, it's harder for my body to bounce back. But you know what? I am so grateful for this body. It's allowed me to do so many things, and I am obsessed with just feeding it with the foods that makes it feel energized and alive. And when I say it, I mean me. And I am obsessed with helping women just like you actually get results, because happiness comes from progress. And so if you are wanting to lose weight, if you want to tone up, if you want to gain muscle, we are here to help you get there, because we want you to be happy and we want you to be healthy. And like that to me is just what life's all about. So let's dive in. So the first plan is called the Ultimate Portion Fix. Now remember, we have 2. So this one is more so based off of portioned eating, okay? You might think that you eat healthy, but your portions might be just a little bit off, or they might be a lot off. And this plan will help you figure all of that out. So it is very structured. So this plan is for my people where you need someone to tell you exactly what to eat. You want to know, like you want to be like, look, Kelsey, these are my goals. I want to know exactly what to eat to get there. The Ultimate Portion Fix is what you want to do. I love this plan because it's customizable depending upon your goals. So if you're breastfeeding, you can do this plan. We can customize it based off that. If you want to gain weight, gain muscle, we can customize it based off that. If you want to lose weight, we customize it based off that. If you want to eat maintenance, we customize it based off that. The other thing about this is that it doesn't eliminate food groups. So if you look at these pictures on the left, you're going to see a bunch of different color-coded containers. These are every color represents a food group. So your green, you see the carrots there, that's going to be your vegetables. The purple is your fruit. The red is your protein. You can see some chicken in there. The yellow is your carbs, which that looks like peas to me, but maybe that's supposed to be something else. So I would, I don't know, are peas carbs? I don't even know. I would think more like rice, quinoa, potatoes, sweet potatoes, things like that. So then your blue is your healthy fats, and then your oranges, that's going to be your seeds, that's going to be your dressings, things like that. So depending upon, and I'm going to help you go through the calculations, so don't even worry about that. But depending on where you're at, what your goals are, you get a certain number of each container each day. So don't worry, you don't just get like these 7 containers and that's it for the day. Like you eat multiple greens a day, you eat multiple purples a day. But as you can see, like you take these containers and you make meals out of them, that before and after. So the before is how you measure out your food to make sure that it's perfectly portioned to hit your goals. And your after is how you assemble your plate or your meal prep for the week, things like that. I know that this might look really overwhelming, but trust me, the more that you do it, the more it's just going to make sense to you. And also, too, like everyone on this call that has done this plan for a while, like once you start to go to the grocery store, you literally look at your grocery cart and you see your food based in colors. And you look down, you're like, okay, I have, I have enough green in my cart, vegetables, right? But now I need more red. I need to go find some red. So it's like, I need to go get more protein. It literally does just become a way of eating, and it's completely balanced because it doesn't cut anything out. You can have wine and chocolate and all that goodness, and it all fits into this plan. It just helps you figure out the perfect portions to eat to hit your goals. All right. The next one. So this is the to be mindset. So this is for someone who wants food freedom. This is for someone who doesn't want to be super strict with their food. This could be for a person if you struggle with emotional eating. If you really like food and you don't want to have a limit on how much you can eat, this plan is perfect for you. So the girl on the right, she's so cute. She's pregnant here. So this is Alana Mulstein, and she is actually the creator of To Be Mindset. Just a little overview of her story. She was actually overweight growing up, and she learned how to lose weight on her own. She lost over 100 pounds, and she became a registered dietitian and nutritionist. And then she joined she ended up joining on with the Beachbody team, with our Beachbody team, and now she is a part of our crew, and she's incredible. She's incredible. The resources. So she's a dietitian and nutritionist, like that's her full-time job, right? So she has clients of her own, but she also created a program specifically for Beachbody, and it's established based off how she coaches her own clients. So this one's actually really, really cool. So instead of having the containers, this is a plated method. So like I said, this is more freedom. So you're just going to take out your breakfast plate and you're going to look at it. You're going to fill 50% of it, half of it with protein, and the other half of it you're going to fill with carbs. And this is a fiber-filled carb. And she breaks down the food groups all, and I'm going to show all of this to you guys too, but these are just overviews. But she breaks all of this down. She tells you what a carb is, what if, so it kind of shows you the pictures there. So you can see some fruit, you can see the bread, you can see, I think that's a potato. I don't know. Is that a sweet potato? So, but anyway, so you could do like eggs and toast, or you could do eggs and a big fruit plate, or you could do eggs and pancakes, or you could do a Shakeology, or I don't know, like Greek yogurt and granola. So this just gives you an idea of how you break down your meals on the To Be Mindset. Your lunch is going to be 50% veggies, if you go down the picture, and then 25% of your plate is going to be a protein, a lean protein, so a fish, chicken, tofu, things like that. And then the other fourth of your plate is going to be a fiber-filled carb. So, fruit, it could be quinoa, it could be corn, it could be sweet potato, things like that. And then you can see as you progress down, your dinner is mostly vegetables and a protein. And you're probably looking at that like, you're like, oh my gosh, Kelsey, that sounds terrible. Um, Alana, she has the most insanely delicious recipes. And so when you go, if you follow her on Instagram, you could just go into your Instagram and search Alana Molstein. And I'm telling you, you will never, ever be bored with eating 75% veggies and 25% protein if you follow her. Like she has like a cloud bread pizza recipe. Like I mean, it's insane. You need to go follow her. But this is for my person that wants flexibility, that again wants food freedom and wants to be able to eat whatever the heck they want. This also doesn't eliminate food groups. And she even has like these little phrases and she's like, if you want more, sure, like have more. Like it's not about depriving yourself, it's about fueling yourself and being the healthiest version of you. So what I wanted to show you really quickly before I dive into, because I do want to do a deep dive into the ultimate portion fix, because this one is more confusing. But what I do want to show you really quickly is how to access these two programs. So when you go to Beachbody On Demand, so all of you on this call should have access to Beachbody On Demand. And if for some reason you don't, then you need to get with the coach that invited you and talk to them about how you can get access to this awesome resource. But all of you should have access to it. So I want you to click on the nutrition tab. So this is where you access the ultimate portion fix and the 2B mindset. So when you scroll down here, you can see that there's two different nutrition programs, the 2B mindset and the ultimate portion fix. So I've already clicked on these. So I'm going to come over here to my tab. So if you wanted to go to the 2B mindset, then you would click on that and it takes you to here. So what I want to show you is that, so there are all of these videos down here for you to review. And then here's the kicker. So if you want to know how to eat to hit your goals, you need to learn. You need to educate yourself about food. And here's why. The diet industry is a multi-million-dollar industry, and basically they will tell you anything to do whatever to make a quick buck. And the big food diet industry out there it's insane. It's humongous. And there's all of these marketing schemes out there that make you think that you're eating healthy when in reality you would be better off just eating an apple. Like I remember I used to think that Special K bars and lean cuisines and all of these things were super healthy until I started to read food labels, until I started to learn more about ingredients and what the heck was in my food. And then I realized that these things, they weren't healthy for me at all. They're just more so calorie fillers than anything. And they weren't doing anything in terms of my overall health and vitality, in terms of giving me more energy and making my body flourish the way that it was created to. So when you go down here, I want, like, look as I scroll. These are all videos teaching you how to eat, how to do the 2B mindset and actually have results. And then she goes on how to lose weight right now. What if you want to eat more? What do you do? She goes on a grocery store tour. She talks about enjoying takeout food. What do you do when you eat out at restaurants? What do you do at social events and parties? What about traveling and vacations? I mean, and then you go down here, wait a second, the scale went up. Okay, so now she's giving you advice here. Help, I hit a plateau, I've fallen off. Are you an emotional eater? I mean, the resources and the things that you have available to you, I highly, highly, highly recommend that you go in and watch all of these videos. You will learn so much. So if you want to do the 2B mindset, there are a bunch of different resources for you underneath the resource tab. And all of these plus signs will come down. But what I wanted to bring your attention to is the food list. So I have that open up over here. So this is going to tell you all of the things that you can eat. So say you're like, I'm not exactly sure. I mean, I think that we all know what a vegetable is, but maybe you're like, I'm not exactly sure what protein I need to be eating. So this is going to give you a different idea of all of the different proteins that you could have on your plate. And then this is going to give you an idea of all of the different carbohydrates, the FFCs, so that's a fiber filled carb, all of those things that you can have on the plan, right? And then these are silly carbs. So she goes through this whole thing, and she explains why she calls them silly carbs and things like that. Like you can have all of these things, but she just says try to prioritize them, because a little silliness here and there isn't a problem as long as you track it. So she's really into tracking things, writing down all of your food and all of that. So if this is what you think you want to do, if you're like, Kels, this is what I need, then you will be following the Plate It method. So this resource here that I'm showing you, this is also underneath the 2B Mindset resources. And I can also put this in the group if you guys think that will be helpful. And go ahead, if you have questions or things that you want me to be aware of, you can just type them in the chat section and I can look it over once we're done. But for breakfast, you're going to drink water first, and then you're going to do your protein and your fiber filled carb. And she says here that veggies are extra credit. So this is what you are going to be following. And this is how you are going to be creating your meal plan. With this one, when I followed the 2B mindset, I didn't necessarily do a meal plan, but I would just kind of map out like, this is what I think I want to have for breakfast. I really like eggs and toast. So that, that's going to be totally fine with me. Or maybe I wanted to do like Greek yogurt and oatmeal. And then I would just stock up on fresh vegetables and protein, and maybe like sweet potatoes, things like that for my lunch. And then I would also go in and find some like 2B mindset dinner options. And my husband and I, when we did this, we ate a lot of spaghetti squash, with marinara sauce and ground chicken, and it was freaking delicious. So anyways, I can put all of that in there, but the 2B mindset, like I said, it's just more freedom and more flexibility, and you follow the Plate It method. So I'm going to go back, and now I want to deep dive into the ultimate portion fix, because this one is the one that a lot of people follow, but this one is also the plan that needs just a little bit more, I wouldn't say hand holding necessarily, but this can be the one that is a little bit more intimidating. So let's go ahead and dive in. So if this is the one that you think that you want to do, I want you to calculate your calorie bracket right now. So take out your phone, go run and grab your phone really quickly. Or if you don't know what you weigh right now, you can take a screenshot of this. But we need to figure out what plan you're going to be on. So I want you to take your weight right now, whatever it is that you weigh, and multiply it by 11. So that's your caloric baseline, okay? And then your caloric baseline, take that number, add 400, and that's your maintenance calories. Now listen, if you just want to tone, I want you to eat in maintenance calories, okay? If you just want to tone, I want you to eat in maintenance calories. If you want to gain muscle, then I want you to keep your maintenance calories in mind here. And then whatever bracket that you're in, I want you to go up to the next one. So if your maintenance calories put you in C, then I want you to bump up to D. So again, maintenance calories, if you want to tone, I want you there. Okay. If you need to lose weight, if your goal is 10 pounds, 5 pounds, whatever, I need you to take your maintenance calories and subtract it by 750. Okay. So we took our weight times 11, that's our baseline. Then we added 400, that's our maintenance. So we're going to stay at maintenance if we just want to tone, but if you want to lose weight, then you're going to subtract 750 from that. All right, I'm going to give you guys like 10 more seconds. All right, so I hope everybody has their calorie target. All right. So if you, can I move this? Can you guys even see what I'm doing right now? Okay. All right. So if your calories fell, whatever your calorie target was, falls between 1,200 calories and 1,499, your plan A. If your calories, say it was like 900, something crazy like that, then you need to bump up to plan A. There is nothing less than plan A. You need at least 1,200 calories a day for your brain to function properly. Have you ever had those days where you just like forget to eat, but then like you also, your brain isn't working properly? That's why your brain needs food. Your brain needs the most amount of calories. It actually uses the most amount of calories that you consume. So plan A, if you fell somewhere in between 1,500 to 1,799, your plan B. If you fell in between 1,800 to 299, your plan C. Now let's talk about maintenance calories. And if you want to gain weight, if your maintenance calorie falls within the plan B, then I want you to bump up to plan C, okay? And next, plan D, if you fell in between the 21 to the 22.99, plan E, plan F. So does everybody have their plan? Right. All right. So now that you know your plan, oh, what I want to show you is, let's go back to plan A, plan B, plan C. Okay. So if say you fell into plan, we're going to say plan B. Okay. You fell into plan B. So what does that mean? So that means if you go down and you look at this chart, you get 4 green containers of vegetables a day. You get 3 purple containers of fruit. You get 4 red containers of protein, 3 yellow containers of carbs, 1 blue of healthy fat, 1 salad dressing, one of the orange containers, and then 4 teaspoons. So you might look at that and you're like, okay, that's awesome. That's a lot of food. There's no way that I'm ever going to be able to eat all of that. Or you might have gotten your containers and looked at the containers and laughed your butt off thinking, oh my God, these are so tiny, I'm going to starve. That's what I thought. That is literally, I laughed when I opened my containers when this came out. I think it was like 7 years ago when this came out. I was like, oh my God, they are going to starve me to death. This is why I'm going to lose weight. But it's so funny. These containers, they actually hold a lot of food. They actually hold a lot of food. They're very deceiving. So you know what plan you are. So this, now you know how many containers you get to eat every single day. So the next thing you want to think about is, when are you going to dedicate, what day, what time, when are you going to dedicate your week to mapping out your weekly menu and making a grocery list? Okay. And the fun part about it is that today we're kind of already starting that. But what I would recommend that you do is that you, every Wednesday, you kind of start to do an inventory of how's everything looking in your fridge, how's your meal prep looking. And then on Thursdays is when I typically start to think about what I want to eat the next week, what I want to do for breakfast, lunch, if there are any like dinner like recipes that I've been wanting to try. I start to map it out because I like to grocery shop on Fridays and I like to split my meal prep up on Saturdays and Sundays. Because I have 2 small kids, it just doesn't work for me to be in the kitchen for 4 hours. It just doesn't work for me. It used to when I was single and I didn't have kids, that just completely needed me at all times of the day. So that is what I like to do, but it's all up to you. It's a very personal thing. But I just kind of like to break my days down. So you need to figure out what works for you. And then you need to become familiar with which foods fall into which categories. So this is really small, but you can find this whole food list. You can either Google it, I can upload it for us in our group, or it's also under the resources tab for the Ultimate Portion Fix, which I don't think that I showed you, but I will. It's very similar to the To Be Mindset, but this is where you're going to figure out like what goes in your green containers and what can go in your purple containers and what goes in your red and your yellow. And you're pretty much just using your containers as measuring scoops. So just think about them as, just a measuring scoop. So that's where you start. So then you're going to make a menu. Okay. And so what does that look like? So now I'm going to take you out of here, and I will just show you really quickly. Before I show you an example menu, I'm going to take you to the ultimate portion fix. So like I said, it's very much like the 2B mindset, except it's all geared towards the containers. So when you click on here and you go to lessons, it's very similar, and it's very much laid out just like 2B mindset. So introduction to ultimate portion fix. Why portion control? What does balanced macronutrients mean? The other cool thing about the ultimate portion fix is, I don't know if you've ever followed like super fit people, but they always talk about their macros. And if I'm completely honest with you, I've been, doing Beachbody for 8 years. I don't know how the heck to calculate macros. For some reason, I feel like it has to take a lot of time and I don't have a lot of time. And I spent 28 years of my life freaking researching diets and how to lose weight and whatever. And I was like, you know what? I'm not even going to try. Like, I'm not even going to try to figure out macronutrients. But the cool thing about the ultimate portion fix is that plan A, plan B, plan C, it's all mapped out perfectly based on macros. This is a macro eating plan, but you don't ever have to calculate macros again for the rest of your life if you've ever tried. But anyway, so she goes in, she talks about food addiction. She talks about what's your why. And then she goes into talking about, so remember how I said it's customizable? This one is customizable to you. So this is what's cool about the ultimate portion fix, is that you can do the foundational fix. And this is one that is very much, this one I would say is our most flexible plan. This is the one that you can eat the containers in whatever variation it is that you want to eat them, meaning you can have a carb, a protein, a healthy fat, and a fruit all in one sitting. Or you could just have a protein and a vegetable. It's very, very flexible. To whereas if you wanted to do timed nutrition, so I did timed nutrition when I followed a very intense 50-minute a day workout program. It's called 80-Day Obsession. And I was in like meal bracket F, like I'm not even kidding. I was eating like 2,400 calories a day based off time nutrition. But with time nutrition, it tells you like, okay, before you work out, you need to eat a yellow, a red, and a green. So, and a healthy fat. So you need to be eating a carb, a protein, a vegetable, and a healthy fat 1 hour before you work out. And then you need to work out. 1 hour after you work out, you need to eat a protein, a vegetable, a carb, and a fruit, and a healthy fat. And then 2 hours after that, you just need to have a protein and a carb. So it is all laid out to you. It is very simple to follow, but it is very, 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 very rigid, very strict. And if you need that kind of structure, then time nutrition is totally cool. You should totally look into that. But then there's also carb cycling, which is this right over here. Carb cycling is for you. This can be done every quarter, but I wouldn't do it. I definitely would say that carb cycling is more of I would consider this to be more of a diet. This is something that you would want to follow right before you go on vacation, or if you have like a wedding coming up. So Autumn Calabrese, who is the co-creator of this plan, she used to be a bikini competitor. So she used to compete, and carb cycling is what they use in competition to get really, really, really chiseled. Okay. So this is not, and if you've ever talked to anyone that has competed, is that what I'm looking for? They will tell you that the way that they eat it's not something that you can do long-term. They essentially, they hate it. Is everything that I gathered from it. And so this is, like I said, to me, this is more of a diet, but you can definitely look into it. You can definitely do it if it's something where you want to drop weight, or just really, really chisel and tone, for some special event. Definitely look into carb cycling. But anyway, so she goes on and she has more like videos, and I'm telling you, you guys really, 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 Like if I could tell you to do anything besides get your workout in and drink your Shakeology, it would be to watch these videos, educate yourself on nutrition, because it is, I mean, it is the bloodline of your results. 80% of your results come from your nutrition. Only 20% come from your workouts. You want me to say that again? 80% of your results come from what you put in your body. And I'm not even talking about your weight. I'm talking about your energy levels. I'm talking about your skin, how your skin looks. I'm talking about your hair and your nails. There's so much more beyond the scale. There's so much more beyond just the way that our body looks. Even like your mental mood, your mental health has a lot to do. Even your hormones has a lot to do about what you're putting into your body. And you might think that you know it all, but guess what? There is always something that you can learn. And these are professionals. I mean, these people, Autumn worked with a panel of nutritionists. I mean, this is top quality information, and it's all at your fingertips if you just take the time to dive in and learn. So let's go back and talk about meal plan. Making a menu. That's where we were at, right? Yep. Okay. Make a menu. So you do not have to be super fancy like this. Okay. I am a coach for Beachbody. I've been a coach for Beachbody for 8 years. Part of my job is making things like this, okay? So I don't want you to think that you need to go in and make something crazy like this. You could literally pull out a sheet of paper and you could write down breakfast, snack, lunch, snack, dinner, and then start to map out your menu. But I just wanted to give you an example of what this could look like for you. So for breakfast, you know, Shakeology, if you have Shakeology, it counts as a red, because when you look at the back of Shakeology, it's primarily like the highest macro, since this is a macro-based program, the highest macro in Shakeology is protein. So it is considered a protein, even though it's filled with vitamins and minerals. Some people are like, shouldn't it be a green? I mean, it could technically be a part of a green, but because of the macro being 16 grams of protein, it falls underneath the protein. So I wanted to do Shakeology, half of a banana. So I coded that as purple, right? So that's going to count as one of my purple containers. Peanut butter, so that's silver. So that's going to count as one of my teaspoons. And then unsweetened almond milk. So unsweetened almond milk, just to give you a heads up, there is some like, do you count it as a yellow? Do you count it as a free? Like, what do you do? Here's my take on it. A cup of unsweetened almond milk is 35 calories. I'm not worried about 35. I'm just not worried about 35 calories. I'm just not. So to me, unsweetened almond milk is free. It's just free. And I mean, if you need to count it as something, you can really like deep dive and look into that. But to me, it's free. So then for my snack, my mid-morning snack, I'm going to scramble 2 eggs with spinach and tomato. And just to give you a heads up, so when I used to work full time out of the house, I would make a big batch of, you know, I would do 2, 4, 6, 8, 10 eggs in a big thing, in a big pan. And then I would take greens and I would fill fill 5 greens with spinach and dump them in. And then I would just chop up tomatoes and throw it in there. And I'd make a huge egg scramble. And then I would portion it out into 5 containers. And then I would freeze like 2 of them, and then I would keep 3 in the fridge. So that way I would have my snack ready to go for the whole week. So that's how I would prep that out. And then my lunch, so for this, I just ate a chicken salad, and I put olive oil on there for my dressing, but there's a couple different dressings that I can share with you guys that I really like, that are oil based. But I would just have a chicken salad. I'm not fancy. I need simple. And you can make these in mason jars. It's super easy. You just put the cucumbers at the bottom, then the tomatoes and the spinach, then the chicken. And you don't have to do avocado if you want. You could sub out. So your blue is your healthy fats. And when you look at your list of blues that you can have, also that falls under there as different sorts of cheese. So you could do like feta cheese in there. That actually sounds really good to me right now. So you could make mason jar salads for the week and store those. I mean, if you make a mason jar salad, 5 mason jar salads on a Sunday, the one that you open on Friday, because it's in a mason jar, when you open up that lid, it will pop and everything will still be so extremely fresh. Snack, for my snack, fruit salad. So that could be a mixture of strawberries and grapes and kiwi and little mandarin oranges and I don't know what else is a fruit. Blueberries, raspberries, right? So you could just make a bunch of that and then take your purple container, scoop out one container of a fruit, like all that fruit, right? And put it in a snack baggie. And that's your snack for the afternoon. And then dinners, I really never prep ahead. I would just make sure that like my chicken is laid out, rice. I have a rice cooker that cooks rice in like 10 minutes. You can Google that, or sorry, you can look it up on Amazon. Rice cookers are amazing. But anyways, and then Tuesdays, we do tacos. On Wednesday for this meal plan, I wanted meatloaf. Maybe you don't want meatloaf right now because it's starting to get nicer out and meatloaf is more of like a winter thing, but maybe not. Maybe you're like, heck yeah, meatloaf, mashed potatoes, and roasted vegetables sound delicious. It actually doesn't sound that bad to me right now. And then zucchini and meat sauce. So, and what I want to point out here too is like, you can make, like, say you want this to be more family friendly. So for instance, for taco night, maybe you want to do corn tortillas because it's the corn tortillas they're healthier for you. They're going to be less calories, but maybe your family wants flour tortillas. That's fine. Maybe your family doesn't want to eat vegetables. That's cool. They don't have to eat them. I mean, who doesn't like meatloaf and mashed potatoes? Who doesn't like chicken and rice? I mean, maybe not, but then like for Thursday, for instance, you got your zucchini noodles with meat sauce and garlic toast and olive oil, right? So that's kind of in place of spaghetti, but maybe make a batch of spaghetti noodles for your family. And then they have the meat sauce, they still have the garlic toast, but you're just going to add in the zucchini as to be like your bigger base. And then just maybe you can add in, a little yellow if you wanted to sub out the garlic toast and you wanted to do a yellow of pasta instead, you could totally do that. Or say you don't want to have dessert that night, a Shakeology no-bake cookie, and say you want to have spaghetti and garlic toast, then you just bump your yellow up to that. And you can pick and choose when you eat your yellows. Don't ever think that you need to just always eat them at the end of the day. As you can see on the weekends, I didn't have any snacks after dinner on the weekends. I just did Ezekiel bread as a yellow at the top, so on and so forth. So I can upload this into the group for you guys as well. But again, know that you don't have to be super like, if you look at this and you're like, oh my God, yes, this is what I want to do. Awesome, then do it. But just know that like literally you can write this out on a piece of paper, and it will have the same effect. So let's get back. We are almost done. Okay. All right. So you made your menu, right? You know that you're going to have Shakeology every day for breakfast. You're going to have banana, and then you're going to do some eggs and some veggies, and you're going to have a chicken salad. So based off of your menu, you're going to make a grocery list. Now, by now, you should already know what your family is going to eat, right? You should know that your kids like mac and cheese, and that they like grapes, and that they like pirate booty, and that they, they're going to want apples in their lunch, or maybe they like granola bars. Like, you already know what your family eats. You already know what your husband eats, what your wife eats, what your partner eats. Like, I know for Zeb, I need to buy him white rice. I know that I need to buy him tortilla chips and cheese. Like, I already know what they want. This is about you. We want to make sure that you're eating the foods that you need to hit your goals. So I want you to make a grocery list based upon your menu, okay? And then you go grocery shopping. So then once you come in and you start to look at all of your groceries, you're going to refer back to your menu, okay? And then you're going to use your containers to help you prep. You're going to use them as measuring cups. So anytime you have a protein, you're going to use your red container. Anytime you have a yellow, or a carb, you're going to use your yellow. In case, unless it's like toast. Like, I don't want anyone posting in our groups that they tried to shove a piece of toast into their yellow container to make sure that it fit. Like, don't, I mean, if you do that, that will like make me laugh so hard and make my entire day. But like, no, you know that it, like when you look at the container list, it's going to say like a slice of Ezekiel bread or a slice of bread will equal 1 yellow. Okay. So don't go smashing your toast in your yellow, in your container. Okay. So you're just going to use these as measuring cups. So I believe that this is my last slide. Yes. If you are having a hard time making your menus or your grocery list, or you just want a little bit extra support or inspiration, write this down, 21dayfixhub.com. This website is incredible in terms of resources. It is a part of Beachbody On Demand, okay? Or the Beachbody On Demand blog. There is also the Fixate cooking show that you all have access to, which is like, if any of you guys watch the cooking show on TV, I don't know what it's called. Is it just called the cooking show? Whatever. I don't know. I don't watch TV anymore because my kids from my life. But you know, like the different cooking shows, like the Pioneer Woman and Emeril Lagasse, bam, remember them? So it's like that, but it's healthy eating and it's all based upon the containers. And so the Fixate cooking show is located also on Beachbody On Demand. 21 Day Fix Hub. I thought that I had that one on here, but let me, 21 Day Fix Hub. I'm going to pull it up for you guys really quickly, just to show you how amazing it is. So you can see up here, it is part of the Beachbody On Demand blog. So if you went to workouts, like that's where your workouts are going to be. If you went to nutrition, that's where you're going to see the 2B mindset and the ultimate portion fix. Now this is the blog part. And so this part of the blog is specifically dedicated to the 21 day fix. So you might be like, but wait a second, Kelsey, I thought this was called the ultimate portion fix. So the ultimate portion fix started as the container system from the 21 day fix. So back when I started, there wasn't a plan that was specifically dedicated to nutrition with all of those fabulous like resources with the videos. There was not that. All I had was my 21 day fix and my containers and my little booklet and my friends, my Beachbody community friends, and we would like share recipes and try to figure out containers together. Back then we're like, oh my God, if we make soup, like how many yellows is that? We would just like guesstimate, because we didn't, like, it was just so brand new and such a baby at the time. But now, like, you guys, there is no better time to start. I hope you are so excited, because listen, no matter if you follow the 21 day fix, no matter if you follow the 2B mindset, no matter if you are like me and you combine the two, I'm telling you, this way of eating works. And it is not a diet, it is a lifestyle, because it teaches you how to properly eat to fuel your body and really how to pick and choose the foods that are best for you. So you can go down here, sample meal plans. So if you're just like, Kels, I don't even trying to think about this is overwhelming to me. Go in here, go into sample meal plans. They literally have meal plans for plan A, plan B, plan C, plan D. There is everything there, right? There are tally sheets here that can help you mark off your containers as you go. And there's also something here to help you with your meal plan. So literally, you cannot go wrong with either of these programs. I'm going to go ahead and stop my screen sharing. So